If you're dealing with anxiety, stress, frustration, you just kind of feel like your days are just out of your control and you're just going day by day, aimlessly, random, but at the same time, you want to achieve your dreams and your visions. So you're going to want to watch this because I have a 30-day challenge that's going to really dramatically take you from a place of confusion or frustration to a place of clarity, understanding, reduced anxiety, and then you can finally actually pursue your goals without this heavy additional pressure on top of you. And I know this because I was in the same exact position as you. I was stressed, frustrated, confused, felt like I didn't know what to do. My days were just being spent aimlessly scrolling on my phone or just having other people influence my day. And so once I figured out this strategy through years of pain, it literally within a matter of weeks changed everything. And this wasn't just with me, this was with the clients that I work with, so stick around. And if you also want to know way more about the Rule 3 method that I've designed to help you overcome your fear of failure, get your days organized, understand strategies to be mindful of your own thoughts, your own emotions, get them under control, this so you can actually aim at the things you want in life, go ahead and click that link down below. It's going to send you over to my website. Download my free intro guide on my Rule of 3 method. It's going to go over all the details that I run my clients with. And then if you really want to take it to the next level, fill out the application form below. And that's going to make me work with you personally to help you build a roadmap, overcome your anxieties, overcome your fears, and move you towards a life that you want. The question we have to ask ourselves is, why is it so important to have a structure to your day? Well, the very first thing you have to understand as to why it's so important is because if you're not in control, somebody else is. But who is this person that's in control? Well, if you think about what the very first thing you do in the morning, and if you wake up right away, turn over, grab your phone and start scrolling, that's going to be your answer. Anything you see on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever social media platform you tend to spend the most of your time on, that is where you're going to get the most amount of influence. Now, perhaps you're watching things that might motivate you, that might excite you, but oftentimes no. Oftentimes the algorithm just pumps things that if based on your previous experiences and your habits, it'll pump that towards you. So perhaps you're watching things that are going to make you feel anxious. This can also be videos that spark in you jealousy, anger. And now if you imagine you wake up in the morning and that's the very first thing that goes into your brain. It's as if, when you wake up in the morning, it's a reset. It's a mental reset ready to take in new information. And so when you have other people, other individuals on the internet influence how you think very first thing in the morning, you find that that's going to set the tone. Do you ever often watch something and it puts you in a particular mood? Maybe now you're in this kind of nihilistic, bitter, not in the mood for anything kind of state. And then you find that mood sort of just lingers throughout the entire day. And the only thing that snaps you out of it is maybe you had this funny interaction with one of your friends, or maybe you just had some good luck and something came your way and totally it shot you back to a better state. Well, if that's the case, it's because you're being influenced. So somebody else is giving you information, it sets the day in the morning, and that is now your lens. I hope you also admire that part-time I'm also an artist. So if you notice the beauty that I just drew is an individual, it's just a person, he has kind of like a bowl cut hair or whatever. But a lens, what is this lens? The lens is essentially information going into your brain. So you have information going in, which then goes through a process of, finding its home. And what it ends up doing is it ends up creating a worldview. It operates as a lens to which you see everything now. And so what that means is you take in information that, let's say, is sort of validating an old story of yours, that you're unworthy of being successful. And then what ends up happening now is that lens, that view, is going to manifest itself in your eyes throughout your day. Meaning, you're going to go about your day and all of a sudden something's going to happen to you. You're going to grab onto that moment and say, you see, that proves it right. This is why this happens to me. Now, is that true? No, it's not true. It's just a story that's been in your mind, that's been pumped into you, and now you try to validate it. It's just a natural way the brain works. And so what I always tell people is, who has to be in control of what goes in? Well, obviously you. You have to be in control. Because if you can be in control, you can then have the lens work in your favor rather than working against you, validating stories that aren't true. Or maybe they were once true, but you're done with it. You want to shed it off. You want to create a new timeline for yourself. And the way to do that is you have to change what goes in. Now, where does the 30-day challenge come into play? So here's how it's going to look. For this 30-day challenge, you can use one of my methods from my rule of three. I call the daily sandwich. No, it's not the sandwich you eat, unfortunately. But this is a structure that has taken me a very long time to build out, and it does absolute wonders. So how does the daily sandwich work? It works in three compartments, three stages. Stage one is your morning mantra. Now, how you structure a morning mantra is really important. And how do you effectively structure something? Well, first thing you're going to do is when you pop open your eyes, first thing in the morning, go to the washer, do what you need to do, but do not consume any content, nothing, absolutely zero. Instead, you're going to find yourself a place where I call it your sacred spot, a place where it's private to you and it's just you alone. Number two, now we're going to look to ask our brain to look for particular things throughout our day. And then that's the real question. What do you want to look for? Now, that's a question I have personally with the clients that I work with one-on-one, but just as a general idea. So let's say you want to have more courage in your life. Let's say you want to have more courage. You're tired of having this old story that you're not, that you shy away from everything. And so what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, you're going to ask your brain to spot moments throughout the day that will give you opportunity to flex the muscle of courage. So maybe you'll tell yourself, the next time I'm in a situation where I'm at a line somewhere at the mall or at a grocery store and then somebody cuts in front of me, I'm no longer going to just sit back and say nothing. At least I'm going to just bring up my concern to that individual. And I'm not going to shy away, because every time I do, I always seem to get smaller. So that's an example of how you're going to ask your brain to spot something. Now, you have to make it personal to you, of course. The next thing you want to do is ensure that you're sitting in a very confident, strong posture, because how you carry your body physically is going to affect and change the way you think and feel. And so if you sit, slouch, hunch, feeling very sad for yourself, then it's going to affect your whole mood. It's going to affect the way you think about it. You're going to feel disingenuous. So you have to have everything in alignment. And so what I would recommend is you do 3 deep inhales. 3 deep inhales. 3 deep inhales calms everything down, gets you into a focused state while sitting in a very tall, strong, confident posture. And then as you go through the things you want to see throughout the day, this is so important. Now, you don't have to be affiliated to any particular religion to this, but you have to, after, just let it go to God or to the universe, whatever you wish to call it. You have to let it go because it's out of your control. You can't control what happens throughout the day. So the final step is to let it go once you go through the list of things you want to spot. Once you're done, this could take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. It's really not that long, but the power is in its consistency. Now, going into stage 2. In stage 2 is to just live out your day now. So do what you need to do, whatever tasks you have to do, whether it's errands. I work with people who are high achievers, meaning people that already believe and know in themselves that they can do much more. They're just limited by certain things. So again, by the way, if you want to take things to the next level, you want to get more information on the Rule of 3 method, just click that link down below. It'll send you over to my website and download my free intro guide. It's going to go over everything you need to know about my method, and I just give it all away for free. But if you're also wanting me to work with you personally and go through your own story, your own challenges, get everything organized and aligned the same way it's done for my life, go ahead and fill out the application form below, and I look forward to working with you. But moving on, so again, live out your day. So you have things to do, just go ahead and do it. But remember, paying attention to what you said in the morning for your morning mantra, the thing you set for yourself. Now, it could be one thing, it could be 2 things that you set in the morning, doesn't really matter. But you live out your day and try your best to spot that moment. You're trying to create new stories. Those new stories are what's going to validate this new worldview that you're trying to create for yourself. Okay, so new stories, very important to live throughout your day. And you also want to be in a state of curiosity and adventure. I always say this all the time, but those two things are going to put you in that wondrous childlike state where you're not so held back by fear as much and you're just more curious about what you're doing. So always be in a state of curiosity and adventure. So that's going to be stage 2. Now there's a lot more detail, but it also depends on the context of your story and what it is you need to do. But that's the basic gist of it. Now moving on into stage 3, the final step, which is going to be the reflection. And now this is where everything combines and why I call it the sandwich principle. So you have your top bun, you have your mantra. You have the condiments, which is your lettuce, tomato, chicken or beef, whatever, however you like it. It's totally up to you. And then you have the bottom bun to seal everything together. And so the idea now is you are going to reflect on your entire day and look at those moments that you wanted to spot and did find, because I guarantee you'll find at least one. So reflect on what you found. Could be one thing, could be two things. I'm telling you, be happy with even one thing, because some days you're just going to have bad days, and that's just the way it is. But you want to exercise and flex the muscle to spot what it is you want it to look for. And it's there. It's right in front of you. So once you find one, you want to congratulate and feel good about it, right? Feel good because that is the beginning of a new story, a new direction. Okay? That's why it's so exciting, because it's a new you, a new possible you. If you didn't accomplish it the way you wanted to, maybe you didn't spot anything, or maybe you did see the opportunity, but you didn't take advantage of it in the way that you asked yourself to in the morning. That's okay, because how you have to end this is with grace. You have to be gracious and compassionate with yourself. Because when you apply that kind of particular pressure, it's just not going to do anything for you. It's actually just going to end up making you feel more tired, more low. It's going to kill your momentum. And so you want to be gracious. Forgive yourself. It's okay. It's not perfect. But when you reflect on it and you spot those moments and you give yourself that congratulations, then same exact thing. Once you go through that process, so one more time. So you hit the end of the day, reflect on what you found. It could be one thing, could be two things, could be three things. Once you spot it, congratulate yourself. And then when you congratulate yourself, if you couldn't find something, be gracious. You forgive yourself. It's okay. These things happen. You just try again the next day. And then you do the exact same thing. You let it all go at the end of it. You did what you could do. Right? You can't control what happens outside in the real world. You can only control how you interpret it and how you act on it. So at the end of it, release it all. One more time. Just let everything go. Let it out to God. Let it out to the universe. And then what you're going to do, you're going to do this process for 30 days. And I will promise you within the 30 days, you will feel a lot better. Your brain is going to feel a lot more clear. You're going to feel a lot more direction as to where you want to go. Your anxiety will start to calm down, because anxiety thrives on uncertainty and not knowing what you're supposed to be doing. And also having others influence your thoughts. That's what's going to also spark that stress and anxiety. And so you're going to feel reduction in that. You're going to feel a lot more clear, a lot more energy. You're going to feel momentum in your life. And then within that 30 days, you're going to look back, and every single person tells me the same thing. They almost feel like a different person. And it really, really is powerful. And that's another thing I'm going to end it with as well. Why I call the daily sandwich is because if you now think about what kind of sandwich have you been eating for the last while? Who's been making it? What the heck is the bun made of? What are they putting in it? And so when you think about how much you've let other people influence what you're supposed to think and feel and do, you're going to realize you're eating a nasty, disgusting sandwich. And so it's important that you make it. You create it, you fix it, you adjust it. It's all up to you. And so let's end everything off, guys. Go ahead and click that link below. Get your free guide today. I'll be more than willing to hand it out to you. I'm really looking forward to you guys reading it. It's going to make a huge difference. And if you want to take yourself to the next level and work with me personally, go ahead and fill out that application form on the same website. And I look forward to working with you.